Hi everyone. So this is a day late. I normally post on Mondays, but I have been busy and I was trying to finish up the one book that I read. So yeah, I'm posting it today, Tuesday, so it is what it is. So last week I ended up reading There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. This is the Sinner's Duet, number 1. So I gave this one 4 stars. So we have the characters of Mara, Cole, and Alistair. Now, Cole and Alistair are successful artists. And besides them being artists, they are also serial killers. So, I would say Cole is probably a little more successful than Alistair when it comes to the art world and all that stuff. Plus, I would say he can control his urges better than Alistair can. So, Cole is, I would probably claim him as more of a sociopath. Usually there's kind of like a rhyme or a reason of why he kills people. Not that I condone that, but I can understand his reasonings of why you kill certain people. He doesn't kill women. But Alistair, on the other hand, is probably, I'd say, more of a psychopath. And he does some really disgusting things to his victims. And he majority kills women. And he mutilates their bodies and things like that. So there is definitely talk of, the content warning of this book, because it is a dark romance. There is talk of an emotionally abusive parent, talk of physical abuse. There's murder in here. There's dismemberment. There's BDSM. There's stalking. I did give this 3 chili peppers out of 5. It was a bit spicy. But we have these are the main characters, I would say, is Cole and Alistair. Now, besides them being rivals in the art world, they also are rivals when it comes to them killing people. So, Cole sees this woman at one of these art galleries, and he's kind of intrigued by her because he noticed that she did something that he would have not expected of her. And so Alistair sees Cole looking at this woman. So Alistair decides to take it upon himself to kidnap this woman and do things to her, body, and leaves her for dead in the hunting ground area where Cole usually kind of dumps his bodies and all that stuff. So Cole one night finds her, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't help her. He just sees her, struggling, and he walks over her. So you're like, what a dick. You're like, well, this guy is a dick, but he doesn't have any emotions. He's emotionless. This is why he can kill people and not have a guilty conscience, because he doesn't have any emotions. And so Cole ends up seeing her weeks later. She obviously survived her kidnapping and torture. And he ends up becoming obsessed with her. And more he sees her and he talks to her, the more intrigued he is by her. And so it's basically Cole and Mara's story of their romance, of him developing these feelings for her that he's never felt for any other woman. And this is their story. And it was good. I mean, I did like it. She's an art student too. I definitely liked the book. It had it was a dark romance, but it also had a cat and mouse game to it. It was definitely a what's the word? like, had suspense to it, you know, and definitely was like a thriller, because you're like, she survived this guy, and then this guy killed how many women? He's obviously going to notice she's still alive, and he's going to want to kill her, you know? He's going to want to finish the job, you know? So it's basically Cole and Mara's story of, like, them, you know, getting to know each other and, you know, their relationship and all that stuff, but also dealing with Alistair, who's a freaking psychopath. And so it was good. It's good, but I would say, like, this one here is, you have to be aware that you have to go into a second book, because it kind of sort of ends on a cliffhanger where I'd say you could read the first book and be okay, you know, with saying, okay, well, they probably catch the guy and everything, if you just wanted to just read this story. But I ended up going into the second book in the series. And so the second book was There Is No Devil. Unfortunately, I liked this one less. The issues I had with it is, I think if the author had a good editor and would have edited out different chunks of this book that were not needed, it would have been a better story. So There Is No Devil is the second book to this story. And, oh, I didn't put down chili peppers. But the, you know, basically the same thing, the characters of Cole, Mara, and Alistair. And so it basically continues on the story where, after all the stuff that, how it ended, with book 1, book 2 has it to where Mara and Cole are living together, and they're, you know, exploring more of their relationship and, you know, delving into all this different stuff. And then it delves into, like, more of her, like, history, her, like, her past history, which was heartbreaking. Especially because her mother is a piece of crap. Her mother's a serious piece of crap, should not have never had children. And it kind of delves more into, like, her history and her backstory. And I was like, it really was not needed, because we already knew, like, as much of her backstory in the first one. And I really felt like we didn't really need that backstory for the second book. I felt like it was just too much. And I was like, ugh, I don't care. It would have been better if they just chopped that whole part out, because I really just didn't care. And that there was a certain, to me, I felt like there was a certain point in this book I started skipping ahead because I was bored, you know, and I just was like, oh, it could have been better if it was, like, maybe just a novella. If they would have had a full-length book, and then the second book was just a novella, just to finish things up with, like, you know, their relationship, and then going after Alistair, because clearly they're going to have to get rid of him, because otherwise he's going to try to kill them. So it would have been better if they just would have cut out some stuff in the book, because I just felt like, I felt like the author was trying to make this a second book, you know, I don't know. I mean, some people, I think some authors, I truly feel like they extend their stories because they don't have anything else to write about. I mean, as sad as that is, it almost seems like they're trying to milk as much of the story as they can, you know? And so I kind of felt like with the second book is that the author's trying to milk another fucking story, you know? Like, she got good with the first one and decided, oh, I'm going to go and extend the story, when it really was not necessary. She could have just did a novella just to explore a little bit more of the characters' relationship with each other, and then killing off Alistair, killing off the freaking psycho who was going to go after her again. And so to me, I felt like the last 80% of the book really picked up, and it was good. And I really could have went without all the stuff in the middle. I just was like, just take it out. Just take it out completely. It would have been a better book. I ended up giving it 3 because it was just parts of the book that I was just like, this is not necessary. This is just extended stuff that I just don't care about. You know, I'm just like, I don't care. You know, oh, her stepdad went and ruined her little teddy bear, whatever it was. I don't care. Oh my God, get over it. You know, so like you've got like these little issues that you dealt with when you were younger. Like, yeah, your mother's a piece of crap and she shouldn't have been, you know, a mother. And then the stepfather was just this creepy dude and he ruined her like teddy bear and that's what made her really mad. And I was like, girl, come on. Yeah, it just, the way the author did it, the first book was good. It was solid. It was a solid book. If she would have just extended the story in the first book to where, you know, it goes into their relationship a little bit more, and then they're like, hey, we need to kill off this friggin' dude. It would have been fine if she would have just extended the first book a little bit more, and it would have been just a one book thing. It didn't need to be a duet. It didn't need to be a duet. I was just like, nah, I'm not feeling this. I am not feeling this. And unfortunately, I had to give it a 3 because I was just like, there's so much in the story that I just don't care about. Take this out, take this out, take this out. It would have been a much better book. It would have been much better. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what it is. There are some booktubers who obsess over certain authors like Sophie Lark. I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I liked that book. I really did. But I'm not interested in reading like her, she's got like a mafia series. I don't care because it seems like every mafia series I kind of get into, there are a few exceptions, you know, like Run Posey Run. I really liked that book. I thought it was a really interesting book, you know, where it talked about the whole part of like relationships and like, you know, accepting, you know, you're accepting this in a relationship when you really shouldn't if you don't like it, you know? So it was a really good book. But Kate C. Wells, that author, unfortunately, I'm not liking a lot of her other stuff. Like she did like a whole motorcycle series and some of the books were good and some of the books were just blah. So unfortunately with Sophie Lark, I don't know if I'm going to read anything else from this author because I liked the first book. But the second book just fell completely flat for me. And there was a lot of stuff that just was unnecessary in the book. And I'm not interested in reading any of the other books like that she has that are a series. I don't care. I don't care about these mafia books. I'm so tired of the mafia trope. Every freaking book that comes out nowadays is like a freaking mafia book. And I'm just like, can we go and have something else? Can we have something else besides mafia? I just get so tired of it. And so, I'm not sure how much, you know, if I'm going to read anything else. Like if she does like something completely different, I may give her a second chance. But I mean, I'm not interested in any of the other books that she's written. I don't know. You know, and like I said before, I am not a huge fan of romances where the guy's a serial killer. Now this here, it's like I almost could see Cole stopping, you know, like he's with somebody that he feels things for and he's not like alone. He doesn't have like an empty hollowness in him. So I almost could see him stopping where the character of Alistair wouldn't have stopped. His stuff was just he was too messed up. He was too messed up here. There was no way he would have stopped. He liked it too much, you know. Where I don't know. I just didn't feel like Cole liked it much. It was almost kind of like a necessary thing he had to do, but I don't think he necessarily liked doing what he did. I don't think so. It was like a part of his art, obviously, because he used different things. I'll say that he used different things for his art, but I don't know. I think like with his lady and with his art, he might be able to like stop doing what he's doing. Even though, like, at the end of the second book, it almost seems like she has a taste for, you know, that type of thing. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of like another type of, like, almost kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing, you know? It's like, you know, the male introducing this to the female, and she has a taste for it and all that stuff, you know? And I just kind of like, you know? I just don't like people doing bad things. It's just not my thing. You know, even though I know it's like, it's fiction. I know it's fiction. But I don't know. I'm not into the whole serial killer. And I try to give books a chance just to see, you know, because sometimes I might, you know, get surprised. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is. I just don't get the hype of certain authors. And why so many people hype up, you know, particular ones. I don't know. I may give her a second chance and read something else. Like if she does something like completely different that's not mob related or serial killer related, if it's something else, I may give her another chance and read a book. But so far, I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I'm rattling on at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna delve into some more holiday stuff, you know, and read more holiday things and all of that and see how I deal with that. But yeah, I really, you know what, right now I'm at the point I really can't wait for January because I'm tired of making weekly videos. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of making weekly videos, and I just prefer to just do the mid-month and then the end of the month, and then if I come up with some other videos, just kind of do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for me. Yeah. Anyways, enough of my babbling. Have yourselves a good day. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Be safe out there. And I will see you all on the next video. All right. Bye.